Hello, thank you for joining me again. There's a well-known phrase or saying, and that is don't judge a book by its cover. Sadly, a lot of money is spent on the cover by the publishers, choosing a cover that will bing out at you, maybe in the booksellers at the airport. Oh, right, just grab a quick book. Yeah, that looks good. And a lot of decisions about reading matter, if it's not an author that you don't know and like, it can be influenced by that cover, just as we are influenced by how people look. And it's something I've talked about before, so I'm not going to go down that one again. But I want you to think about making yourself an audiobook rather than just a book to be read, but a book to be listened to. So, make your voice heard. Make your voice heard for good. Spread kindness around. Help people by talking with them. And I've said it and I make no apology for repeating this. Quick word with somebody who is on their own. It can be literally the only communication they have with a living being that day. And that sounds extreme, but really it's not. It's something that I've experienced on more than one occasion, in fact, on lots of occasions. But I will happily instigate a hello, how are you, even with people I don't know, just to have that communication. And on several occasions, yes, the initial thing was probably to help myself, but in doing that, I was helping somebody else because that led them to, I'm all right, but, and they'll usually start with that, I'm fine, but, I'm all right, but, I'm getting by, but, and then they will tell you what their problem is. And it could be, if it's an older person, it could be that they've got little jobs that need doing. And it's too much for them now. So maybe you could say, I'll find out where you can get that done, who can help you with that. And certainly I've talked about the repair shops in the past, but we've actually got one in my local town now where people will repair things that would otherwise make their way to the local tip eventually. But if it's an older person, you could say, well, there's the repair shop now. I'll find out when it is, and if you can't get there, maybe I could take whatever it is that's broken along for you. Come on, we need people to support other people. I know there are a lot of us who have problems. A lot of us who have mobility problems. So maybe you could pick up the phone and talk to somebody if you can't get out to speak to somebody. Again, you're helping yourself and somebody else. But if you can help somebody, do. We need it. We desperately need it. We are becoming more isolated as people. And I don't just mean old fogies like me. I mean all generations. They're dashing around like goodness knows what, go to the gym, fling themselves around without saying anything apart from maybe grunting to other people, dash round the supermarket, then home and We are losing out on a lot. And I have to say, I was reminiscing the other day about how it used to be. And I can remember when there were no shops open on a Sunday. If you were lucky, there's one petrol station, but there weren't that many cars anyway. Newsagents would be open early in the morning, but then once the papers had been delivered, it too closed. And shops used to have a half-day closing in the middle of the week. Life was at a slower pace. I suppose with business and so many things being on a worldwide scale, that we've got to extend the hours here so that we can be part of an international picture. But at what cost? That Sunday used to be special. It was a time for family, a time for all of us to sit down, have a family meal, to talk, to read, to play games, to do some gardening. Never any washing. There wasn't washing allowed out on the lines by my family on a Sunday. Yes, it was okay to visit relatives. It was a good thing to do. So the family links were maintained. So have a think, how can you help others make these links with you part of that chain? I'm setting you a challenge. I think there's so many of us become so, I'm not going to say selfish, focused on ourselves because of our busyness. Think about how you can focus on others. Maybe simply just a little random act of kindness that could mean an awful lot. End of story, end of, not a rant, expression of my feelings. And I imagine there'll be quite a few who've switched off partway through thinking, oh, she's having a rabbit on here, I'm not listening to that. That's the way of the world. You can't win them all. So thank you so much for listening. Take care and think what part you can play. You're only one person, but there are a lot of those ones around. And if we all do our bit, do you know, the world would be a better place. So thank you for joining me and take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.